Hey, welcome back to First Take. Let's go to the AFC here. The Texans beat the Chargers thanks to their strong defense, but also CJ Stroud got his team off to a very strong start. He threw 2 touchdown passes within the first 6 minutes. Didn't play amazing after that, but he didn't really need to because Houston had a great defensive effort against the Chargers. Houston has now won 8 straight. How about Jacksonville? They've won 7 straight. Their last loss was to Houston actually back in early November. However, they are still a game ahead of the Texans after beating Indy yesterday, which eliminated the Colts from the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence, very good. 260 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground as well. Jags can win the division with a win over the Titans this weekend. But now we ask the question, Cam and Dan, which quarterback would you rather have in the postseason? T-Law or CJ Stroud? Cam, what are you taking? Who are you taking? Excuse me.
I'm going with CJ Stroud, and this is the discussion about opportunity and skill. Are you comparing skill? Well, Trevor Lawrence has skill. CJ Stroud has skill. But when you start to dissect of how they have the opportunity or who will have the more opportunity, it has shown that the Houston Texans is the leading candidate in 5 of the majority statistics in defense. They're the number 1 overall defense, number 4 in passing defense. They're number 4 as well as the rushing defense. With the Jags, I don't feel as confident, with their defense. And this is something that we also have to mention too about DeMeco Ryans. There's head coaches, the Mike Vrabels, the Ben Johnsons, the Liam Cohens, but to battle back from 0-3, DeMeco Ryans has fought his tail off and his team to get into this position, and he should get a lot of praise for that.
Okay, so wait, he's saying you take CJ Stroud because he doesn't have to do as much because the defense is better.
Oh,
right?
Come on, Kate. What quarterback
opportunity?
What quarterback you taking?
I just
opportunity. I'm going CJ Stroud still.
All right.
I do agree with you. DeMeco is one of the best head coaches in football.
Okay.
Love both these young quarterbacks. I'm taking Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is playing as good as anybody at the position. I think he's as confident and playing as convicted as anybody at the position. In the last 6 games, he's got 19 touchdowns total, both rushing and passing. That leads the NFL. His legs have become a massive part of his game. In the last 6 games, he's got multiple touchdown passes. In every game, QBR. The only quarterbacks in the last 8 weeks that have a QBR better than him are Brock Purdy, Drake May, and Jordan Love. It's the best version of Trevor Lawrence that we've ever seen in the confidence. And you're watching and Cam, you would know this a little bit too, is like once you get into this point of comfort and conviction, he's just not thinking. Just go play, man. You're so talented. Just go play. I also think he's probably got as good a wide receivers as anybody in the playoffs right now in the AFC. With Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, and Brian Thomas Jr., that trifecta is difficult. And Brenton Strange. And so I love CJ. I think it's the most improved unit in football with Houston's offense. But Trevor and just the conviction that he's playing in, I'll take Trevor.
So both these quarterbacks, obviously younger. They're not necessarily the youngest, but younger. Who would you say has more to prove at this point? I'm going to go first. I'm going to say Trevor Lawrence, just because he's ridden the wave up and down, different coaches, different play callers, etc. I feel like we need to see Trevor Lawrence do it, especially in the postseason. CJ Stroud came on strong as a rookie, obviously, but now has taken a little bit of a backseat offensively. Who do you think has more to prove, Cam?
I think Trevor Lawrence has more to prove. I mean, he's been kind of coined the golden child, ever since he was drafted. But the reality is this. We don't kind of critique off of potential. We critique off of what we've seen. The last time we've seen the Jacksonville Jaguars in the playoffs, Trevor Lawrence didn't have the best outing. He put the ball in jeopardy too many times. Well, the last time we seen CJ Stroud, he was one of the main reasons why the Houston Texans was in the playoffs in the first place. And the fact that that was his skill set, that's why that's why I'm believing more in CJ Stroud than Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, my honest answer is both. And I know on this show we don't like that. I think both of them, Cam.
Oh, come on, bro.
No, because both of them are kind of in that same world. Really, really, really good young players, superstar talents, have had some success in the regular season, have had some success in the postseason. I think the reality is each of them have the opportunity to ascend into a different grouping, and neither of them have jumped into that grouping of guy in the playoffs. And so I think that more to prove, it's really even. I know we don't like to do that on this show, but it really is even. But they both have the opportunity to kind of ascend into a different category with a good run. Got to
give it to Trevor Lawrence, though. I mean, this guy was known for having errant throws, not always protecting the football. He's had one interception over the last 5 games, trending in the right direction.
First takeaway is that the Seahawks might be the best team in the NFC. And I know that's a crazy thing to say, especially after what you saw from the Bears and the 49ers. But for them to play the way they did on Thursday Night Football and overcome a great game by Matthew Stafford, for Sam Darnold to overcome the mistakes that he made early, and then for them to go on the road and beat a desperate team in the Panthers that really needed the game.
Yeah.
I feel like but Darnold right now has learned that after I make a mistake, I don't see ghosts anymore. I don't have to worry about Casper. I can just go out there and make a play. That's my first takeaway.
Emmett, they don't just beat teams. I mean, what they did to Carolina yesterday was they demolish you.
Right.
You know, it's not a thing for them to win a game by 17, 20, 25 points. And they're such a good team around
their
Darnold.
Defense is good.
Look, on shows like this, like a lot of the analysis is just let's compare the two quarterbacks of the teams. Well, in that sense, you know, Darnold is a nice quarterback now at this point in his career. He's sort of done like an Alex Smith type of thing. You know, he's become a respectable quarterback. But when you look at Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, the way they block, the way they tackle, the way they're coached, I know none of that stuff is as sexy as talking about who throws for the most yards, but I understand why you say that, because they don't just win some of these games. They will beat you badly, and they have a bunch of times this year. Emmett, my first takeaway is on the negative side of things. And
Negative?
Emmett, I thought that the Jets embarrassed themselves yesterday. Look, I know that Aaron Glenn had to deal with Quinnen Williams getting traded and Sauce Gardner getting traded, and some of that stuff is unfair, and I'm sorry, sometimes life is unfair. The Jets have to make a coaching change. Guys, you're at home, okay? You're playing against your arch rival. You have a chance to spoil the number 1 seed for them, to ruin their season, like what the Browns did to the Steelers yesterday. And you quit. I'm sorry. The level of effort on the Jets side of things I thought was terrible. The body language was awful. And their head coach is a defensive back in Aaron Glenn. This is the guy I think I probably should have led with that is going to get fired at the end of the season. One and done. Emmett, he's a defensive back. They have 0 interceptions.
It's your favorite stat.
16. I just can't believe it's true. 16 games into the season, Emmett, they don't have one ball that bounced off some guy's helmet or something?
Yeah, I mean, it is a crazy stat. I don't think Aaron Glenn will get fired or should get fired. The front office didn't set him up to be successful by any means. And, of course, the guys quit. You traded away their best players a couple weeks ago, telling everybody in that locker room you had 0 plans on winning. So I think it would be shady to fire Aaron Glenn after what the front office and ownership had decided to do with the team.
The Jets have never done anything shady. Emmett, I just think it's one thing to lose, and I expected them to lose a bunch. It's another thing to get beat like that. To beat, I'm looking at the little score bug, while we're watching the Browns and other games. It's 14-0. It's 17-0. It's 24-0. It's 31-3. It's at a certain point, you're just like, man, I can't believe, what is even going on in that game over? Did not feel like the Patriots had to break a sweat in order to win that game, and I just don't think Aaron Glenn is it. If I was the Jets, I'd make a difficult decision. Look at what the Patriots did with Gerard Mayo. They canned him. They brought in Vrabel to put him with Drake May. Where are they right now? If I was the Jets,